What is the number one thing that would ensure a business to be successful, in your opinion?
Revenue, first and foremost, is the king of all. So if you can't generate revenue, then the rest of it doesn't matter. So that's why you have to take the mindset in that very first phase of the business that it's just about generating revenue. I mean, I've started new ventures recently, and when I start those ventures, I don't have really pretty stoplight reports. I don't have really pretty pro formas built out yet. There's not a process ownership chart. It's how much money can I stack today, right now? And it's very inefficient. It's very messy, but that's okay. I don't need it to be perfect at the beginning. And I think a lot of times people will get where either one, not to get into predictive index too much, but if their PI is more bent towards somebody who likes a lot of processes and procedures and they like a lot of rules and structure, they'll build these beautiful cars and never put any gas in them. On the converse, you'll have people who are killers, high A, dominant, social interactions, no rules and structures, those mavericks that you get a lot of times, and they'll have a tanker of gas and the car that is the business is a complete clunker. In the beginning, it's okay if the car is a little bit of a clunker. We have to have revenue. And I think that's the mistake that gets made a lot, which is we don't prefer revenue. And we got to start there. I mean, I've sat in consoles before where it's kind of like you'll walk in and they'll be like, hey, we hired you to rescue us. And I'm like, you got to make money. You got to generate revenue. If you can't generate revenue, there's really no reason to build anything else.
This is so timely too, because I was reading something this morning, I think from my friend Tom Kroll, and he teaches all the time revenue in first position.
Yeah.
And the biggest mistake that, like from his post, that a lot of people are making is that they focus on building, like figuring out, like, the processes, all the shiny objects, or the building phase, building funnels, building all the other stuff, and not really focus on revenue. But revenue is the lifeblood of the business. If you do all of that, now you can take care of all of the other stuff.
That's right.
So even for me right now too, that has been my thought process, revenue in first position. I've lost sight of that a little bit.
Yeah.
I've been really dialed in and focusing, okay, revenue is in first position.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that we can do today to make sure that we have it tomorrow?
Yeah. I mean, if you study a lot of history's founders and things like that, is of every single one of them were animals about expenses, keeping expenses and their burn rates as low as they could possibly keep them through those growth phases. We get all the time at Sharper, and we tell everybody before they hire us, we always tell them is like, what's going to happen is at the beginning, you're going to say, Brandon, I want my time back. I want you to come build these systems and processes so I can have more time and so that I can, spend more time with my family and do all of these different things. And then in the second phase of us working together, you're going to say, I want my money back. Because what you got used to was you generated a bunch of revenue on the front end and your margins were so wide. Now all of a sudden we have to put people in positions and seats to be able to grow that business. And so I'm constantly warning people, you have to know what kind of business you want to build. If you want to build a high margin, lower revenue business where you're driving all the revenue, that's how this should start. You can see it right now. It's almost like a shell game with a lot of the companies in the US right now where they've got venture capital or they've raised a lot of money and it looks real pretty and real fancy. What they're doing is they're building all these systems and there's no revenue coming in just yet. Now, strategically, that might make sense and there's a strategy that works there, but most business owners need to realize at the beginning, you just got to make it work. If there's a free solution, use it. Get as much money in the bank as you possibly can get. Then we can come in and say, great. Now let's inspire people. Now let's build systems and processes. Now let's go do the fancy, shiny marketing thing. Don't start there. Start with a stack of cash.
Yeah.
That's so fire!
Fire, fire, fire!
That's so fire, baby! That's so fire!
Fire!
That's so fire!